I talked with Gopnik on episode 1, and he mentioned he likes to progress by jumping into train tunnels with a bow and a bone knife and just going hard. I've noticed that you've got quite a unique progression strat that I don't see anyone else doing. And I'm talking, I've never seen anyone else doing this. Can you walk us through like your main strategy for progressing
Well,
in Rust, like through the tiers, getting scrap, getting comps?
so beyond building the initial base, which is obviously everyone's got the same priority, you got to have somewhere safe to start. I usually gravitate towards.
Hey guys, welcome to Project Nova. Episode 3 today, we are going to be looking at the Pivot or Die patch, the most recent patch that's come out. We're also going to be exploring how it's working in with the previous patch, the Meta Shift. Both of these patches have been aimed at a progression overhaul, and it looks like Facepunch is doing something step by step each month here. We're pushing back Naval Update again, and we're working on Progression Update. It's super interesting. A lot's changing. We're going to discuss that today. We're also going to look at progression strategy. The guest we're talking to today has a super unique way of progressing that I've never seen before, and it's highly effective. So I thought that was an interesting thing to explore, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. All right, let's get into it. Cheers. Hey, Brick, how you going?
Hi, Shell. I'm good. How are you?
Good, mate. Sorry about last time we tried to record a podcast with you, mate. We'll try not to do that again.
Yeah, you recording this stuff?
Yeah, I'm definitely recording.
Beautiful.
Customary question, Brick. Can you just give us your sort of experience in Rust? How many hours you play? What sort of gameplay you engage in? And
I don't know. I'm like a medium grade player, I guess. I think there's people with a lot more hours than me. What am I? I'm sitting at like 8,000 now. It feels like such a large amount of hours, but some people absolutely tower me, don't they?
it's quite a lot. I think people that play Rust either go full in over their heads with it, and they have like 15, 20k hours, or I don't know.
I've had big breaks. I go pretty hard, but I have breaks where I just don't play for a few months.
So we're just gonna I just wanted to chat to you tonight about, since obviously I haven't had you on the show officially. Unofficially we did a podcast and didn't record it, which was awesome. But
Yeah.
since I've had a chat to you, we have had the Meta Shift update, and now we've had the Pivot or Die update. I just wanted to it's a massive update to the progression system in Rust, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on, since you have played for quite a long time, what over the last 2 months of Rust, the progression has completely sort of changed. So what are your general thoughts on it? Better, worse, faster, slower, good for solos, bad for solos? Like, what are your just general impressions on it?
Oh, I liked the pivot. When the initial update came, I thought, this is just going to make it way harder for the smaller groups. Just initially, you're going to be behind for that first 12 hours. And I wasn't wrong. If you watched Wilgem's just recent video, you can see him take a good half a day before he gets his tier 2, which...
Is that the one with the sat dish? And he's just like,
yes,
you're running sat dish over and over? Yeah. It's a good video. Good video.
A very good video, because it just shows the struggle. And, he says he's not that good, but he's being modest. He's pretty damn good.
100% being modest, yeah.
So yeah, I like the pivot. I like their focus of the pivot. I like how they're trying to target the no blueprint wipe service, because the community has been split for the longest time on blueprints, and they're kind of trying to merge that now.
That's something that I've never really come into contact with. This whole I only played the Facepunch server that one time with you guys, and I was like, the whole fact that the blueprints didn't wipe was so bizarre to me. Like, I didn't understand that. I didn't know that was such a big divide in the community, that whole wiping or not wiping thing.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because the officials, like the Facepunch officials, never wiped blueprints, where the they're officials, but they're, commercial officials, I guess you could say, like professional officials, but they're not actually owned by Facepunch, Rustified, Rustopia, etc.
Yeah.
Those ones tended to wipe them monthly.
So you liked the Pivot or Die part of the progression overhaul, or did you like the blueprint frags or not?
I like the blueprint frags, mainly because hard. I don't like how hard tier 3 is to get for majority players.
Have
Like,
you got a tier 3? So Brick and I have been playing a weekly server the last couple of weeks. Actually, you missed the first bit of it, didn't you, Brick? But
I did.
I haven't actually reached a tier 3 on a weekly server yet. Have you? Like,
So I've had to trade for it, and I think that's where I was about to discuss. I don't like how the advanced blueprint frags are turning into just such a massive farm for the bigger clans that can hold the monuments. As if they needed any more support getting themselves sulfur. Now they've got this, which, I mean, most people, they're charging like 2k a frag. So, to get a tier 3, you're literally holding 10k sulfur. Sometimes it gets a bit cheaper later in the wipe, but initially, they're getting so much sulfur for doing nothing extra, basically. And I'm not a fan of that. And I don't know how they can change that.
what am I trying to say? What are the things we're missing when we don't have a tier 3? Like, what is the main thing?
It's probably the most frustrating thing for me personally is the half crafting speed missing. I think we spend too long on our base crafting as it is, which is funny because compared to how it was even just 3 years ago, it's literally half the time. But it's still too long. It's time when you're just not spending. Like crafting mids is such a drag on a tier 2 without a tier 3.
Okay, so you're talking about something I didn't even know about. So what are you talking about? Do you craft around a tier 3? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so each workbench, so for example, if it's a tier 1 blueprint and you craft it at a tier 2, it halves the craft time. Wow. And tier 3 would actually quarter it.
Okay.
So you can see that adding up really quickly. And of course, the other aspect of the tier 3 is obviously the high tier weapons are locked behind it.
Yeah, but is that a big issue? Like, would you normally craft them anyway? Like, I don't know. Whenever I get apart from an SKS, I wouldn't generally craft much anyway. I would find guns or acquire them, and I wouldn't end up crafting them. I don't know. Do you?
I tended to craft bolts because you needed some kind of base defense.
Yeah.
Some people for sure craft AKs.
And I have before, but I just wouldn't think that was a major setback, not being able to craft an AK.
It's not a major. It's honestly not a major. There's nothing really in the tier 3 beyond, of course, the big explosives.
And that's what about doors? Are they not important?
I think doors are a. I don't think the community as a whole values armored doors. They are, they're stronger than garage doors by a portion, and I think there's a lot of value in armored doors, but yeah, it used to be very hard to suck up the 600 scrap cost to get those. When now they're 120, I think it's much easier to absorb that cost.
Why don't the community rate it? Like, because you just go through the wall instead, and you're just pummeling, and you don't really care about the door route, or is it why?
Partially that. I think it's cost, and I think it's because garage door is just universally easier to use because obviously the standard double armored is still like a double door. It's still blocking that top part.
Yeah, it's awkward, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So it blows up movement, and obviously when it's open, it's also swinging out, blocking other parts of your base. So
yeah, right. Okay. And I think you're right with the explosive. What are you stuck using? Like you're using a fucking catapult with propane bombs, aren't you? Pretty much.
Hey, don't underestimate the catapult with propane bombs. The community hasn't caught on to that one yet.
We are gonna unleash that on the community, Brick. We've had some practice over the last couple of wipes. I fucking rate it. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got footage of that. It'll be funny. But so doors, explosives, yeah, obviously. You can't. What are you raiding with if you don't have the tier 3 explosives? You're really just raiding with fucking satchels or what?
Good old satchels, eh?
And that's awful. They're bloody awful.
The literally a serious raid can't happen with satchels. It's just very difficult.
Is that an issue for a solo who probably isn't going to be raiding a massive base anyway? The whole being restricted by. Unless you're super into raiding, right? I don't think it's a big...
Solo's not going to get a tier 3 and then that's like a day free thing for a solo at best
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I'm sure there's some chads out there that can pull it off, but
Yeah.
not while blueprints are a factor, you know.
So the pivot or die update, obviously, it made scrap a lot easier to. Well, not scrap. It made teching a lot easier. Yeah, is that what you'd
Yeah.
put that down to? Is scrap still valuable then? What is the value of scrap now that you only need about a quarter of the amount to tech?
Well, I mean, naturally now people can run helicopters a lot more, and you can obviously do the outpost trades a lot easier. And bandit, obviously, there's some high end. You can M39 for 400 scrap, and because scrap's not so important,
Yeah,
it's definitely a.
because I
mean, what else do you dump your scrap into?
I know, and I saw a lot
That's
of people like whinging about, scrap's useless now, and I'm thinking, hang on, the traveling vendor goes past and there's 5 SMG bodies for 65 scrap. Like, that doesn't seem useless. Like, you can.
I mean, the traveling venger's broken to begin with, especially if you can get on the HQM trade with them.
But exactly, but that's all scrap trade, right? And
yeah, 100%.
And I don't.
Scrap's very useful.
I think people were just like, scrap's useless, and I'm thinking, hang on, you can literally buy any resource with scrap almost, right? From the outpost, from whatever. Like you can do a lot. You can
buy the most useful transport in the game, being a mini chopper. You can immediately just instantly double your speed around the map.
And
now if you're calling it useless, well then you might as well get the mini, right? If it's that low value to you.
So what has it done to the economy in terms of, I didn't see anyone trading in scrap. Did you?
I didn't, and that's the interesting part, right? It's pivoted to ore. For sure.
And crude. I mean, crude was always a biggie anyway, but
yeah, because no one wants to hit barrels. Because the way to get it right.
No one wants to hit
barrels. No one wants to hit barrels. I love hitting barrels, but yeah, most Zergs like hitting barrels. That's peasant stuff.
Yeah, I didn't see anyone trading in scrap, which was interesting because I was still trying to get scrap, and
100%,
and people weren't using it at all and just saying how it was dead. I thought that was weird because I think a lot of people I feel like a lot of people skip half the game mechanics in Rust. There's so many game mechanics to use, exploit, or what? Not even exploit, just use. And people just like, I only need scrap for teching. Now I don't tech. I don't need scrap at all, and I'm gonna just like, you know what I mean? Like it's
100%.
It's bizarre, isn't it? Like what the hell? Anyway, what about so the scrap costs and the BP change fragments? You think this is right direction?
Yeah, I think they're leaning into the right direction where they're just trying to get a progression tree rolling. And I think they might double down even further by trying to get it so we're actually wiping blueprints weekly and getting a bit of a progression chain going. I think that might then make scrap more valuable to trade, because if you're dealing with a full blueprint wipe, you still got to get through the tech trees. It still takes a couple of thousand, right?
Yep. You still need it. Yep.
You still need it, and yeah, I do. I'm very interested to see what they're going to do next.
Yeah, I think they're on the right change, but you think there's more to come?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think they're now going to have to tweak the fragment system just slightly. Let's face it, the tier 2 fragments are just a nuisance. There's numerous ways to get them. For the most part, you can get it done in like 3 hours if you're trying.
But
even if you can't hold a monument, you can do all the weird, underwater killing scientists.
You say it's a nuisance. Is that not? Is it? Are you basically saying it's not good player friction at that point? Like I think it's good that you still have to go out and do it. Like
I think they need to come up with a more concise way to slow the population down. I'm not sure how they do it, but because if they put it in a loot table, naturally more numbers means more loot, which means consolidating that tier 2 down, and then you've eventually got one faster. We've got to come up with another method which doesn't involve that. I'm not sure what that is.
So what don't you like about it right now is that it's What is it? It's
I mean, anyone who's half decent has got a tier 2 within 2 hours of the game,
from
which
Monuments.
means the SMG. Yeah, which means the SMGs are out pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
Which I feel like they're on the right path, trying to slow us down and make us prim lock just that little bit longer.
Yeah. Why can't they just get time gated? I never understood this.
I never understood that either. I'm guessing it's down to a knee-jerk negative reaction from the community as a whole for that.
If they did it.
I think the guys of numbers that benefit from the system will just scream in agony over it, and they just can't deal with that public pushback.
Because they want to be...
Remember,
they just want to be shitting on everyone with AKs as soon as possible. Is that like the...
Correct. Well, that's kind of the reason you play in a group, right? Is you've got all these advantages playing in a group, and you take away the main advantage. Well...
Yeah. Okay. So you think weekly BP wipes are on the cards for sure, hey?
I think so. They said it in their blog post, and I liked it. I enjoyed the fact that not everyone had everything.
Can we quickly touch on the rest of the updates? So the rest of the pivotal die update. Box sorting, good, bad, doesn't matter. Or is it taking away a bit of the fun for people like Bran?
I think it's a good change. I mean, people
think
have been sorting boxes, have been sorting them for years now. I think they're probably sick of it.
But is this not part of...
You're onto something there. The cascading effect of convenience, right?
You know where I'm going with it. Like, this is the whole... As a WoW player, you 100% understand what I'm going to say about removing player friction over and over to the point where you retail WoW.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're onto something there. It was only a couple of years ago, maybe it was a bit longer than that, where we got the large box sort of doubled in size.
Yeah.
And that was a massive change. And then they come along and they give us storage boxes on walls. And now all of a sudden you're getting the 1x1 literally can store as much as a 3x3 base used to.
Yep. Yep.
And you go, well, what's that done to the game? And it's just changed the game for sure.
Do you know what was one of the nail in the coffins for me? And I'm only new to the game. When they did the snapping of deployables and wires and stuff, I was just like,
yeah, man,
what is this? This is like, it's a craft, right? Like sitting there making your wires clean, neat, whatever. Like you take pride in that. I don't know, man. All these quality of life upgrade. I mean, I've only been playing a year, and there's a lot have come through just in the year I've played. And Industrial was already in when I started. Like, I can't imagine what the game was like before Industrial. But I'm just worried that I know it's dumb, but the box sorting thing to me is an L. And I think it's the thing about Rust that I like. It's somewhat close to like you have to work at stuff like in life. And like if you're messy with your boxes, it's going to slow you down in a raid when you're trying to find something. And just little things like that. I mean, I know I'm being real. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I mean, what, 10% of the community use Industrial to any capacity, and then like another 2% of that part of that by like using it properly, because it's got a lot of potential Industrial, particularly with moving loot around and raids, especially with the seismic sensor and all that lovely stuff.
Hell yeah, it's
I've built some pretty crazy systems with it. But the thing is, that pox sorter has completely, in a way, negated the need to do Industrial. If you know what I'm saying, the conveyors and stuff. I genuinely believe I don't need to do it.
It's negated a lot of things. Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, and what else is it doing? It's speeding up the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
You used to have to spend your night cycle in your base sorting your boxes out. Now you can get out and do something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I think Rust's gone down a slippery slope of 100% quality of life, changing the shit out of the whole game. And
I mean, the game's faster than it's ever been. The amount of loot we've got's off the charts.
Yeah.
I just can't get over how much loot we can get so quickly now. Even just hitting roads is just nuts now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm fearful, and I've been playing a year, and I'm fearful. But anyway, mini fridge. I think it's pretty good. I'm here for the mini fridge. Hey,
that's a convenience thing all over again, though.
Yeah,
It
but
uses half the power, which I don't think it should use half the power. If you know anything about fridges, the smaller the fridge, the more power consumption they need for the area.
no,
That's just me being a nerd there.
I didn't know
But
that. But that's the one thing I like about it is that I think 5 power for a fridge is too much, in my opinion. I'm talking about in the game. Like, it's like 5 power for a fridge. Really? Come on. Like, I got better shit to
do
spend
you
my
think
power on.
electric furnaces should be free?
No, they should be like 8. If a fridge is 5, do you know what I mean?
I'd argue they should be like 10, 15, and I wouldn't disagree with that change because there's just they could rework power right now. If they're doing all these quality of life stuff, they could rework power right now. Give us a few more generating options.
Well, do you know what I think scuffed and what I learned in the last few wipes is that hoppers the last few wipes, right? Do you know how much power they use?
They use a lot, don't they?
8, bro.
8.
So how can an electric furnace take 3 and then a hopper take 8 and a fridge take 5? Yeah, they need to sort that shit out. That's the only thing I liked about the mini fridge was that it didn't draw 5 power. I thought 5 is too much for a fridge. But anyway, moving along. Horses, yeah, you can stim a horse. I don't really see any reason where this is going to be.
That's not game working. It's just convenient. I mean, it was hard to heal a horse.
Yeah. I still think if your horse got armor on it, you're going to die before it's going to die. But I don't know. Whatever. I don't really care about that change. So horse stimming, whatever. Do you know what I think one of the low key awesome changes was of pivot to die that I'd say 99% of people didn't notice was P2s being removed from Water Well Vendor. Did you notice that?
That was a good change.
Yeah.
I did notice that one. I've never personally bought one.
No, but it was ridiculous that you could do that, I think. I thought that was a great change. I think that buying a P2 like 3 hours in and researching it, I thought is a bit dumb and too fast paced for the game. But I don't know. I think everything I say about Rust, and it's the same view I have on classic WoW versus retail, like just slow the game down. Like, what are we doing? Why are we trying to speed everything up? You want people to stay in your game longer? Like, make it a longer game. Like, why are we trying to skip everything? I don't get it.
Why are we trying to get to in game? Like, I never have understood the appeal of people getting AKs 3 hours in. Well, I mean, I know the appeal. You're unstoppable, but it's this
What do you get from an airdrop? The first airdrop that comes out of the sky. What can you get from it?
Well, you get about 3 to 4 guns, and they are of varying quality. They're pretty much always the worst you can get is a pump, and
so we're talking tier 2 guns.
Yeah, well, we're talking tier 3 potentially as well. So that's why they're always so contested over. That's what. Yeah. So the first thing that gets the drop.
To me is like, why not time gate that a little bit? You know, like
because it's
last week
is PvP, right?
The last week wipe I had. You don't. Do you? Okay, you've just hit a nerve there, Brick. Do you need to encourage PvP more on wipe morning? I don't feel like you do. I feel like the first 2 hours of wipe is absolute chaos without having to invite more PvP with a crate or something. You know what I mean? I think the best update they made was the DPV doesn't take high qual anymore. Hey, what are we all here for the DPV or what?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I'm the only one that even cares about the DPV. I think it's cool that you can buy it from the fishing village now as well, to be honest. I went to buy one.
That's something I didn't know.
Yeah, you can buy it from the fishing village, but dude, I went to try
100
on wipe day and it was 300 scrap. And I was
about to say it's 100 now, so it's 300 on wipe.
It was ridiculous. I was like, holy shit. But to be fair, buzzing around with that instead of swimming on dive sites would have severely increased my output, but I couldn't justify the 300 scrap. And I think the other thing they changed, which was good, I'm touching on the main points here, is removing blue key cards from the outpost, being able to buy them.
Yes.
I think that was...
Yes.
I don't know how that slipped through the cracks, to be honest, on the first one, because to me that seems... Getting a blue card and not dying with it is pretty... Like, you know, you need to do it with this whole BP frag update. Like, you need your green and blue cards. And I think the fact that you could just buy them, I actually think gutting fish to get them is stupid, to be honest.
Yeah, I see that on the chopping block next, because you can literally 1 bear turns into 2 on average.
I had 2 fishing traps.
Find a bear?
I had 2 fishing traps this wipe. I didn't even pay much attention to them, and I ended up with like 6 blue cards. I think if you're going to remove them from Outpost, I think you need to remove them from Fish Gutting or make them way less drop chance, because these last couple would be very important to you since you're a connoisseur of the attack heli. What did you think of those changes? Oh, well, I'll just mention them for people that don't know. Your flare, you can't throw flares anymore. So once your flare cooldown is on, you can be pretty vulnerable to a homing missile. Is that right, Brick?
That's correct, but there is now a flare slot in the mini, so
which is good. Yep, I think that's good
Yes.
because I hate just like every base after a while has SAMs, and you just by the time it renders in, you're dead. I think it's good to have that one sort of chance, but yeah, so that makes attack helis a bit more vulnerable. You can't repair attack helis anymore, and you can't eat like med kits and stuff anymore when you're flying with them.
I did feel that the fact I could always heal, I could always just fly away for a minute, come back at full HP, especially combined with a few of the pies, the ones that give you the health regen and max health and all that lovely stuff as well. Just broke it. I could just fly above someone's base, just pound them.
Well, I think that's why it's a good change. You can't repair the attack heli, and now it's more vulnerable to homing missiles if you've got like the second shot loaded or 2 people. So I think all those changes were good, man, because
I think it's balanced now.
Yeah,
I genuinely do think it's balanced.
They were bullshit before that. Since we're sort of on the topic of progression, BP, frags, getting tier 3, I wanted to ask you, I talked with Gopnik on episode 1, and he mentioned he likes to progress by jumping into train tunnels with a bow and a bone knife and just going hard. I've noticed that you've got quite a unique progression strat that I don't see anyone else doing. And I'm talking, I've never seen anyone else doing this. Can you walk us through like your main strategy for progressing in Rust, like through the tiers, getting scrap, getting comps?
So beyond building the initial base, which is obviously everyone's got the same priority, you got to have somewhere safe to start. I usually gravitate towards an armored car very quickly. And that's down to playing, solo most of the time. Because you're pretty invulnerable in an armored car for the first few hours of wipe until people get grenades. And even then, most people are too lazy to get them.
What is a grenade? What are we talking about with how vulnerable are we to a grenade in an armored cab?
About five F1s will break a cab, which is, it's balanced. If you get caught out, die, and then a grenade lands on you, well, then, GG. You've got to be able to break the car at some point. But it allows me to farm really, really aggressively. And of course, I've got the mobility to jump between nodes and trash spots or even different rad towns.
When you say farm, are you farming nodes when you say it gives you the ability to farm?
Yeah, just that you just jump between whatever you're targeting at the time, and that allows you to sort of really pull your weight. The other thing it lets you do is kill animals very quickly, very silently, and that allows you to sort of snowball and low grid, which is very useful, and leather, which is also very useful early game.
And I think the first time I think it was pretty much the first time I played amongst you. You were just driving around the loop road and only stopping for like brown crates, and then you'd just pull up next to it and loot it. Is that that's what you were doing, right?
Especially early on, yeah. And
you had an attack heli like before I even had a tier 2, and this is a few months back when the changes weren't the same. But basically, you were tenfold ahead of me, and all I could remember is you driving around in this armored car. I thought it was hilarious. I've never seen anyone do it. Where did you come up with that, or did you see someone else do it? Or
No, I've just been doing it for a long time. You see, I don't like dying. So I'm a farmer by nature, and I don't like losing my farm to people. And of course, cars inside the damn armored cab, you're pretty invulnerable. So
is that normally the thing that you will rush towards? Do you buy the parts? Or do you just find an armored cab and then take it to ferry terminal and lock it up type thing?
Yeah, I usually lock it up. I do run them on tier 1 parts, but they're nowhere near as good as compared to when you finally get a tier 2. Then the car becomes the beast that it is, and it actually can move and do things.
So would you buy
The
those
other-
tier 2 parts, or would you prioritize buying
No.
them, or you want to tech to them?
I want to tech to them because they're very low on the tree,
Yeah. Okay.
especially now.
Oh, it's on the engineering workbench now, isn't it?
It is.
or is it?
But it's in the engineering workbench. It's like probably 300 scrap to get all the tier 2s we learnt now, which is not bad. But learning the tier 1s isn't necessarily a bad thing as well, because I mean, sure, you can loot them, but it's a lot better to just get a car. And then when you get a car, you're just way more reactive and flexible on how you're moving around, collecting loot. You got less idle time between each sort of resource spot, if you like to call it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just go crazy.
And I think you, on the hardcore wipe, you were clearing out Arctic with your car as well.
Yeah, you run over the scientists, and that's actually broken, especially in hardcore, because the ammo's so rare.
I shouldn't have mentioned that. Hey, everyone's going to steal your strat.
Oh, it's fine. I found out the hard way that people, like, when I got out of the car to do looting, there'd be a drone on top of me, which broke the car with F1s, which is a counter to it, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, right. Drones. So someone had a base close by.
Yeah. When they heard the shooting, they flew over to grenade me, but then they saw the car, and they just like, oh yeah. And once they start grenading, you can't go near the damn thing, so the car's lost. So they've got vulnerabilities.
You haven't have any grubs just whack it down with tools or anything, have you? Because it's quite hard, right?
It's quite hard to do an armored. If you have the lesser one, which I do get sometimes I just have to accept that I'm not getting an armored car, and I just have to use a small one.
Yeah.
The trick to not getting your car griefed is not having a storage module on it, because people know there's no loot in there, so they just can't be bothered hitting the lock off.
Right. So they see a storage module and expect there to be loot in the back, do they?
Exactly. Yeah.
So would you take that off your car? Would you?
Depends how the population's going around me. If it's not too bad, I'd put it on. If it was really bad, I'd take it off.
Interesting. Because I would have thought having the storage module would help with the loot, obviously, if you're farming nodes and shit like that. But it
certainly doesn't. And believe me, I've had a lot of times I've died in the car, and then the storage module's still got all my loot in it, and they don't break it.
Yeah.
It's like 75% of the time.
I've had that too. When I was living out of a car once, people would kill me and just like run off, not even expect that it was absolutely loaded.
The other thing you can do in the car, of course, is because you've got so much mobility, is you can absolutely ambush people.
Yeah, you run people over, right?
You run people over. You can just jump out with a gun and just smoke them. There's not a lot they can do about it. You can pick your targets. If they look too heavy, you just drive by. But if they're running a bow, well,
why aren't cars more popular in Rust? Because they are kind of really good. Like,
they are popular in the late game or even the mid game, but they don't use them for farming. People use them for raiding usually.
Yeah.
Or loot transfer.
But that's all you ever see. And I don't see, especially on a weekly, I barely see a vehicle. On a monthly, you've got your sweats, right? All the 4 mods get gobbled up. People are running camper vans. Yeah. But like in the weekly, I don't see any. You're the only person I see driving a car. Like, it's kind of.
I don't think I saw anyone else last wipe beyond a few caravans raiding.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't get it. They're really good. Is it because people think they're too vulnerable? I guess they are vulnerable, to a degree.
It's locking them. To lock them, you got to have a ramp, and to get a ramp, you got to go down that path of the tree, right? And it's
you can go to
cost.
Why can't people just go to Junkyard or Ferry? Like, it's not.
Well, I could tell you a few stories of me trying to get a car there and then getting ganked on the ramp. You can imagine how that makes you feel.
Yeah, and I've had the same issue at Junkyard, but it's still better to try that than not lock your car up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Your rate of progression is insane that I've witnessed, and the car and what else do you do, man? Because you seem to just rocket past me, and obviously the car's a big part of that. What other tips have you got for like progression speed, especially with this new BP fragment update?
I'm always doing something. I've always got something. I've always got the next step worked out. So I know what I need to hit with nodes. Once I've got that target, I'll be on to scrap. Once I bounce off that, I'm on to wood or whatever I need. I tend to farm wood at night because there's nothing else to do. I run mining helms though. If
I
again
love
the
them.
areas,
I love them too.
Yeah,
You've
like,
got
don't.
me on the mining helm, bro. They are next level.
Yeah, they are just that. Especially because if you don't have flashlight, it's like, well, cool.
Yeah, and you can.
I've got the ability. You get nodes. You can do everything.
I
So
just
it's,
wear them around in my base at night too, because you can't see shit anymore. So like I've always got
no
a
one.
mining hat on.
Unless you've pissed someone off, no one's really outside at night. They're not going to gank you. Usually, it's surprising how much you can get done in that 10-minute darkness.
100%. Do you know what else I like mining caps for? We're gonna get on a mining cap rant here, but I love running train tunnels with it, and then like when you get to the train, you like pull like 30 low grade out of your mining cap, like it's a little low grade stash. It's so good.
Yes, it is.
It sounds stupid, but like this saves you a whole slot, like in your inventory.
100%.
Yeah,
It's so useful. And then there's the armor aspect, right? They the 20%
yeah,
bullet resistance.
yeah, with a
sounds like
bandana,
garbage,
and you
but
can couple it with a bandana, so you're 25, right?
yeah, 25. But I mean, coffee can's 35. It's not far off it. To get that, you basically have to run a right helm to get better than that.
Well, it's
Or
the
a
same.
hazy.
Yeah, it's the same as a essentially the same as a bone helm, right? I think 25.
Yeah, just so-
Yeah, I'm a
you get
massive
light.
fan. We'll have to move on from the mining cap because we can talk about that for hours.
Yes, we could.
Are you a greedy farmer? Like, would you fill your bag before running home, knowing that you might die?
Would. Yeah, I would. Oh, 100%.
Oh, really? Okay.
Again, it's a risk assessment. Everything's risk versus profit. I probably am a lot greedier than your average player.
Mm-hmm.
That's because every time I die, I'm always full. People must love killing me.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't take it's 7 minutes hitting barrels. Your infantry's pretty much chocker.
Yeah, I guess
People just don't do it right.
One last question, I guess, is you've played Rust for how many years now?
This is gonna be embarrassing. I think it's 9 years.
Okay, and where are we at with the state of Rust? Its current state of Rust, has the glory days passed for you? Are you enjoying it now? What's the current state of Rust?
I think the current state's the best it's ever been. I know there's a lot of people that reminisce in the past and go, "Oh, I remember when I had the old recoil guys and all those lovely things." It's in a very good state at the moment, and the development team is constantly progressing and upgrading it. The recent changes, for the most part, change is good. Of course, we've got the one dark cloud behind this game, which of course is the cheating.
Yeah.
And that's not getting any better. Yeah, I literally watched it destroy Escape from Tarkov, the cheating, and this game it's got admins which get rid of the worst of it, but there's so many closet cheaters in this game. People just raiding with ESP and stuff. It's a bit tiresome, especially in the Australian servers.
Yeah, and I think that's why we've recently had a server open up that people are flocking to because of the activity of the admin crew. So you think the current state of Rust is the best you've seen it?
Yeah, for sure. It's just got so much going on. There's so many options. Options are good, even if they're all overpowered. At least they're all there. Like for example, if you can't get blueprint fragments because monuments are too tough, there's like 5 other ways you can get them, and they're all kind of broken in their own right.
Like metal detecting.
Metal detecting, yeah, that's the one.
That was wild.
But of course, the advanced fragments don't have that problem because they're all in high tier monuments, and I think that's a bit of a gate that they need to challenge, which is ironic because you're saying the game's progressing too quickly, and now I'm sitting there going, well, everyone needs to be able to access the tier 3 because at the moment only certain people get to access the tier 3 until they trade off everyone else's sulfur, which is madness. The last thing we need.
The game progresses too quickly. Yeah, that's a really good point you just brought up. We talk about the game progressing too quickly, but I haven't got a tier 3 once. since the update.
Yeah.
Since we joined the weekly server.
And 80% of the population probably isn't going to see tier 3.
But that's why
Not till it's irrelevant in a weekly, for example. Like day 3 in a weekly, great, you got tier 3. You've given away, I don't know, 4K sulfur to get it. It's irrelevant at that point. You know, everyone's had it for 2 days before you. And I think they need to deal with that because it's too much of a. It's just encouraging. I don't know. It's just. I know Face Punch love pushing group content.
I wonder why. That's why I asked you earlier. Like, what is the main thing in tier 3? Because to me, it's. Are we going to see a catapult meta come through? Because
well, if you keep promoting it, we might.
Well,
because
I don't.
It's madness right now. They are literally 33% more efficient at raiding than rockets, and they're actually a little bit better than that because their splash is bigger
And they're faster. You saw how quick I was pumping out the rockets the other day. Like,
yep, and they're accurate as hell when you do it right.
Bombs, yeah.
Now I don't think anyone's going to online with a catapult. Let's not get crazy here.
Why?
But when you're offlining, because they're too hard to, you just get killed, right? I mean, it's too easy to take out the catapult with grenades and stuff.
If you put it at max range with a couple of wooden barricades and stuff around it, man, I reckon it's. I don't know.
Yeah, potentially, just because the cost is so low, right? You could.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing: it can literally lob fire. It can lob over stuff.
Yeah.
You can literally be protected while you're flinging it.
And you could put it.
That's an
if you really wanted to, you could put a siege tower like either side of it and shoot through the middle of them. You've got quite a lot of protection you could add to it. I don't know. I feel like
and you
tier
get the
3
incendiary rounds as well, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it's prim, it's medieval, right? Yeah, here it is. It's like this kind of weird thing that's hiding in the cracks, and no one knows about it. No one. If you're listening to this video right now, podcast or however you're listening to it, no one is using catapults to the potential they are right now.
No,
you're hearing this right now, and you can literally craft these propane bombs, which are the same as a rocket, for 450 gunpowder. That's all it costs. Plus a few propane tanks. That's an irrelevant cost.
I don't think we want to let everyone in on the secret. Hey, like,
it's just crazy.
I think the biggest issue with not getting tier 3 is the explosives, not the guns. I feel like you can get the guns anyway.
Yes.
And I think the propane bomb coupled with the catapult bridges the gap absolutely beautifully, and no one is using it. And they're all crying they can't get tier 3. I think they're pushing back the naval update to work on this progression change, the meta shift. I think this is going to be 3 or 4 patches in a row of them tweaking stuff to try and get this progression sorted. Which I'm here for. Like, let's go.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. Oh, good shit. Thanks for coming on tonight, man. It's good to finally catch up with you. And I just checked on OBS, and we are definitely recording this one. So
I'm waiting for you to tell me we're not. So
nah, I checked halfway through and shit myself. I thought, fuck, I didn't hit record.
No idea.
But I did. I'll edit this up, man, and we'll I'll get it uploaded. Sounds good.
Okay.
I'll
see you tomorrow.
See what we can do tomorrow. Cool, man. Cheers for tonight, eh?